Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Health with Natalie Cuomo. I'm so excited to be joined today by Talia Lichtstein.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here.
How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm a little sweaty now that I've entered the room. So,
I feel that.
Yeah, I'm feeling raw, feeling real. I'm ready to get down to it.
I love that. So, okay, I'm sure everyone talks to you about kind of your self-proclaimed motto of spreading negativity. Obsessed.
Thank you very much.
You know, in a time of gratitude lists, in a time of, you know, peace and love.
I was done.
Talk to me about the birth of you know, the lists of things you hate.
Well, I'm a child of the Tumblr era. I really
Same.
think that was like,
Same.
I grew up with these edits and pictures. Everything I saw, I feel like when I logged onto the internet growing up, because I grew up with the internet, unfortunately, was like pictures of sunflowers saying like, you know, smile and everything will be okay. And then that sort of transformed into manifesting. And maybe if you think everything's okay and you eliminate negative thoughts, then that's going to be okay. So that's when we transitioned over to TikTok and that became the thing. So that's when I got the idea, but it's so who I am anyway. It felt very natural to me. And now the new thing is like mean girl energy is the big thing that we're all dispelling, which to some degree I can get behind, but I feel like that's another way that this like Tumblr mentality, toxic positivity has warped into like, you have to be so worried now about being interpreted as mean. Like that can be the worst thing that a girl is. Whereas to me, it's like, I don't know. I've always been of the belief that like, if you're really mean-spirited, that'll show. And if you're not, but you're just opinionated and like, you know, kvetchy and Jewish. I really think that most of it is just that I'm Jewish. But like, I think that that'll come through. And like, you don't have to worry so much about being perceived as mean. So that was the whole birth of the idea is like, let's just say what we hate. And it caught on and that became my thing. And I'm proud of that.
I love that. I mean, I'll be honest, number one, nothing bothers me more than when mean people pretend to be nice people. Like, I can't stand it. Like, just own who you are. And I like that.
I found when I moved to New York and I got like a little comedy adjacent, like I started hanging out with those people, I noticed the big thing, the rule of thumb for everyone is that the meaner you are like on stage or in your persona as a creator, as an entertainer, a comedian, the nicer you are as a person because you're not so afraid of being like perceived as mean.
Right.
Like if you're just like this grumpy person, but then on the other hand, it's like the people who are really concerned with seeming like cuddly teddy bears and like so obsessed with seeming nice are not that nice.
Very standoffish.
Exactly.
And,
not generous.
Well, the thing that's interesting about your videos is like while you're talking about like things that you don't like, you're giving off very much like a your best friend vibe.
Thank you.
Like you're like, it feels like you're hanging out with you. Like I feel like your videos are so successful because it's very like, I'm sure people meet you and they're like, as I said when I met you, like I feel like I know you. Like people feel like they're hanging out with you. It's very like a welcoming, let's just talk shit vibe.
Thank you for saying that. That's all that I could ever hope to create is like I want it to be friendly to a degree where it's not like about being nice. We don't have to be so concerned with how we're being perceived here. We're just talking. We're just why I feel that people go to such lengths to like censor themselves in just saying opinions to the point where it's like we're having a conversation in private and you're like worried that somebody's taking documents like notes for the court documents of this conversation. And it's like it doesn't matter. You don't need to be so concerned with how you're being perceived. So I'm glad that people feel like they're at home.
I was watching Nathan For You the other night. You know that show?
Yeah, of course.
And one thing that it made me think about was like how much people like lie in conversation just to like go along with it and just to like everyone just like agrees with him when you know they're like they don't even really mean it and they just go along with it and it's so like cringe and embarrassing for them. But it just makes you think like, oh my God, I need to like actually disagree with people when I disagree in conversation. I actually need to speak up for when I don't like things. Like,
and women, I don't know why it became sort of another facet of what I do online to be like this feminism person and talk about women online. I didn't intend for that. I feel passionately about that, but I didn't intend for that to be like one of my taglines is that I'm like, you know, hater and feminist. But like it became that naturally because women were specifically so touched by the idea of like, let go, just say what you feel, challenge people in conversation. You're on a date, he hasn't asked you a question. And like center yourself, like make yourself part of the conversation, challenge an opinion. It really isn't like, I didn't think that that would resonate so much with women to the point where they're like, feminist icon. But apparently it's like it's people needed to hear it, and they don't feel empowered to say it often. So I like that. I think it's something that women need.
I love that. Okay, so let's talk like of all the things you've been saying that like you don't like online, what has resonated with people the most that surprised you and you've been like, oh shit? Because like sometimes I'll say a joke and it'll resonate with people and I'll be like, really?
Right, you can't believe.
Like, what is the thing that you dislike or bothers you, your pet peeve, that you're shocked that resonated with people?
Oh my God. I mean, I can say everything. Like, I never thought that listing these things would actually.
Yeah.
I thought that they were so specific. I hate white cars. They bother me.
I have a white car.
You do? I'm sorry. It's just, but it's to each their own. But like, I would never buy a white car.
Okay, tell me why.
It reminds me of like white bunnies with weird eyes. It reminds me.
White bunnies?
You know, like how white bunnies have little weird red eyes.
Okay, yeah.
Like they're like
evil
scary.
But why? Okay, yeah.
Or like, I don't know, they just get dirty easily. And they're not, it's just not my type of thing. And I couldn't express fully why it bugged me so much, but I tried. And people were like, oh, that's why it bugs me. Like, I think that it's not so much that people already felt that way. It's that they maybe had like a little small thing in their brain that was against something. And then I articulated it, which is like a compliment I love to receive, is that I helped somebody figure out how they feel.
Right.
But I don't know, like I started making these videos about going to the airport, which was like, I guess it has the common thread of like the negativity and the sort of sassiness to it, but it's just me walking people through how to go to the airport and like do things efficiently.
Yeah.
And if you go to the airport, you don't think that a lot of people are thinking about things like efficiency. You don't think that these things are on top of mind.
Yeah.
But it turns out more people than you'd think are with me when it comes to like when and how to take your shoes off and what you should be wearing to the airport.
Right.
And it was honestly refreshing to find that maybe they're not putting it into action, so take the advice, but more people than we think feel this way and this frustrated about like lack of efficiency in daily life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's given me hope for humanity.
What are ways that like, just out of curiosity, that brands have been like, because, you know, this whole world is about like making money, monetizing creators. What are ways that brands have been like, oh, like how am I gonna use this hatred?
Yes. Yeah. At the very beginning, it was like, can you do a list of things you love? And that will really shock the people, and then include the brand, which I understand from like a marketing perspective, some marketing intern somewhere. That makes total sense to suggest to me. But I shot that down immediately all the time, because I was like, when I finally do some list of things that I love, I feel like it'll, at the time when I was a much bigger deal and more relevant, it would like break the internet when I finally like broke my habit of things I hate. Now that it's not so much like the center of what I do, maybe I do one, but I've never once listed like a list of things I love. So that's what they always want me to do. And I'm sort of like, I'm saving it for something important.
For marriage.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saving myself. But I find it really fun. I never wanted to be an influencer, and it kind of like pains me a little bit in the heart to have to say like, I'm an influencer. Like, it's not something I really wanted to do. But I think that the way that I'm challenged to like integrate some product like a phone case or condoms or like Plan B into a video that people actually feel like watching the entire way through, and maybe even like clicking on the link. It's like kind of an interesting challenge to make it like kind of like hide your vegetables and get you to like watch the whole video without realizing for a while that it's an ad, and feeling like you're being, I don't want people to watch me and feel like I'm using them, like I'm selling their eyeballs. You know what I mean?
It's tough. It's tough to make an ad without.
I want them to feel natural, but it's kind of like a fun little, I didn't expect to like it so much. And now it's like a central part of what I do, that I like all of the ads. I feel like I have a manager that helps me with these things.
Right.
And he always has to advocate for like, she doesn't care so much about the money as she does about the creative freedom. Like, she's willing to settle for less if you don't give her guidelines, because it just makes it so much more fun and easy to do. Yeah. And it's like kind of a fun way to make money now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
I like it.
I actually wrote a joke inspired by stalking you on Instagram and TikTok for this podcast.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I was like, you know, just, it was the day I messaged you. I was like, And then I'm like, all right, let me just go on her TikTok. And I'm like scrolling. And you did an ad for the Julie Plan B company.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of them. And I was like, no way is this real. So you start talking about like Julie.
I saw
and
you.
I posted the joke about it. I wrote that joke like because of your TikTok because I had never heard of them before. Yeah.
I saw that and I thought that there's no way that this has to do. We have to bring it up. I totally forgot.
Yeah, because you wrote this joke. You're like, you're like, it's the morning after Julie Plan B and I'm also helping another girl. And I'm like, wait, what?
Isn't that crazy? No, my joke was that it's the Tom shoes of contraception.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're killing 2 babies with 1 stone.
No, that's so much better. No. I can't believe I didn't think of it. I can't believe I forgot to say that. I saw that yesterday and I was like, what are the odds that we would both?
No. I saw that from your TikTok and I was like, this needs to be spoken about.
Oh my God, the turnover on those clips is crazy. Who do you have clipping your stand-up?
Me,
it's been like a minute. Oh my God. That's pretty good. No, I loved that. And also, it's real. Not even sponsored, but like that stuff.
That's not sponsored?
No, the video was sponsored. Right now, me, not sponsored.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm not sponsored.
No. But no, Julie was cool. Like they actually they give birth control to somebody else when you buy it.
I could not believe it. When I saw that, I was like, because I have this whole bit, like it's a longer bit that I have about like Plan B. And so like I just like squeezed in this little one-liner there. And I was like, it's
incredible.
This is crazy that this exists.
Keep it. I would be so honored if this were like a part of your set for a while. Like, please. I would really like to be able to like look at that and see a little piece of myself.
I was like, oh my God. I love that you said it's the Tom shoe because it is. It's also the Bomba.
You take it. It's yours.
No.
I use
like, this is Talia.
Yeah, you can say it. People might draw attention to I said it on TikTok, but I don't do stand-up, so you can use it. But no, I like honestly.
No, I've just been saying they killed 2 babies with 1 stone, which they do.
It's
which
hysterical.
And the stone's a pill is a tiny stone. But
I mean, I had an abortion myself, and those felt like some stones passing.
I've never had an abortion.
It's the worst STD I ever had. It was like, people forget. I didn't have the surgical kind.
Yeah.
I talk about this a lot, by the way. I noticed that people don't get so mad at me about mentioning that I had an abortion. People get sick of the shtick. Like,
really?
Pro-choice people, most of the people who follow me, I've like cultivated a pretty progressive audience. So
yeah.
People, I don't care about people who were like, fuck you for getting one. But people are now like, okay, Talia, we get it. Like, it's not a funny punchline anymore. Like, that's how much I talk about it because I think it's hysterical. Like, I think the entire concept is really funny. But so I had to take these pills. That's how early I was to it.
Yeah.
And the pills, like, actually feel like passing kidney stones or something. They
really?
They induce essentially a period that cleans out your whole system. It's kind of like a crazy juice cleanse, but it's in your uterus. And they like... you have to put them on the corners of your mouth and let them dissolve slowly rather than taking them all one by one because it's so strong. So as you're feeling it dissolve, it's the craziest sensation in the world. You start to then feel it before it's dissolved in your mouth. You feel like contractions.
Really?
In your uterus, just essentially like creating a period. And you have to wear a diaper. It's unbelievable.
A diaper, not a pad?
A diaper. Like I had to go to the store and get Depends. It was really weird because my parents were also in the house, but they didn't know what was happening. And I was just like doing it in my room. And they're coming into my room and I'm like bleeding into a diaper.
You're
and
just
like, what's up? I'm like watching Netflix. What's going on?
Did you tell the guy?
Yeah. He paid for it, which was really nice.
That's
the
nice.
pill was expensive. But no, I would have told my parents too, but I was like 20. It just happened. It was a fluke with my birth control. And I just
you were on birth control.
It was the wrong birth control. I was using that Nuva ring. Okay. Which I think works for a lot of people, but I was not responsible about putting it in and out.
Okay.
And I just knew. I was like, I didn't even take a test. That's how well I know my body. I was
really?
Like, I know. I went to Planned Parenthood. They were like, yep, you're right. But you're really early, so just take these pills. It was essentially like a strong-ass Plan B abortion pill.
That's crazy.
But I would have told my parents, but I was like, I don't feel like having the conversation. It's not worth it. They would have been accepting.
Tell them?
Yeah, I told them later.
Yeah, I guess they're like going on your TikTok like, whoa!
Yeah, exactly. No, they pay attention. But I think they were only offended that I didn't share it with them, not that I got one. They're very open people. They would have been helpful, but I just kind of was embarrassed, so I just did it myself.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you like, I mean, as someone that got an abortion when you were 20, do you feel like very emotional about all of the stuff that's happening with like reproductive rights?
Yeah, I feel it is very personal to me. I feel that it should be personal to more people. I wish that like that's part of the reason that I talk about it. It's not just that I think it's funny. It is that literally most of the people you walk by on any given day in the street have had one. Like, it is that common. I don't know why it's such a taboo, whereas like Plan B, for example, isn't. It's not the same as Plan B by any means, but it's like, this is a type of women's healthcare. And I think that many women will die. I might have died. I don't know what I would have done if I had to carry that baby, fetus, whatever you want to call it, to term. Like, I really don't think I would have gone through with it. I think I would have maybe killed myself. Like, I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
And it also, who knows where it was. It might have been deeply unsafe for my body. And I just think that more people need to understand, like, it's not just a thing that happens to a couple women. Like, it happens to me, your favorite little TikToker, making funny little videos. It also doesn't need to be this traumatic thing. I try not to like compel other people have had one to talk about it, because I understand that it's like,
right, some people might feel vulnerable.
Yeah, they feel vulnerable. Maybe a lot of people got one, but they don't believe in it. A lot of people are like really sad. They really grieve that. I couldn't care less. To me, it was not a living thing. That's not how I felt about it. It felt like a health procedure that I had done. Right. But for some people, it actually is like they grieved a loss, and I totally accept that. So I would never say like, if you've had one, speak up. But if you feel comfortable speaking up, I really do think that you should consider, if you have a family that would allow you to, because the more people just make it normal, the less of a taboo it is. It's just really not that big of a deal. Everyone knows multiple people who've had one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we need to just make it like, when I first got it, I was so afraid to talk about it. And then I remember sitting at a table with a couple people and like mentioning it and thinking that the room would go silent. And like 3 girls chimed in and were like, I had one. I've never heard anyone say that. Like, oh, how was your blah, blah, blah. What'd you do? It was like such a relief. And holding the secret in was very deeply traumatic, more so for me personally than the thing itself. So I think that just talking about it is like, really, if you have the ability to, you should. If you don't want to, you shouldn't. But I do. So I do.
That's a good point, that like the burden of keeping it in can be almost as traumatic as the experience itself.
Right? So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
You know what I think was really interesting for me, like posting that clip about Plan B, about Julie giving Plan B to like people that can't afford it.
Yeah.
There was a comment that like was consistent across all platforms that really bothered me. Right. That like people would be like, guys, this is literally eugenics. And I'm like,
what?
It was so crazy to me that like, and I could see that this narrative could come up with reproductive rights and Planned Parenthood, and people like misconstruing that giving access to people that can't afford it is like, oh, we're trying to kill out like the poor and like telling poor people not to reproduce, and that people were twisting this narrative of making birth control affordable.
Yeah.
And I was like, I felt like it opened up my mind to like this whole conversation that is like incredibly problematic, and the way that people can just kind of like change words around, because it's like,
gross.
No. First of all, like these women are deciding to take it. No one is shoving Plan B down their throats, number one. And number two, like it's lower price for them so that they can afford it. It's not like they're like, oh, we are specifically making it for lower income people because we don't want lower income people to reproduce. It's like, no, because they can't afford it and different people can. But
exactly.
I was shocked that could have been a counter argument from some people.
Especially because it's mostly the opposite. If you want to talk about keeping poor women poor, that's what these laws are designed to do.
Yeah.
If you keep people in cycles of poverty by making sure that they have to reproduce when they don't want to,
right,
and when they're not capable of providing for a family, and they have to then raise a child in poverty that they didn't even want,
yes,
then that continues cycles of poverty. I think that a lot of the abortion – this is a really fun podcast, by the way. I think we'll move on. But I think that a lot of the abortion laws are people – something that bothers me even about the left when we're talking about this is that we make the conversation solely about like women's right to choose, and they're trying to control our bodies, which is true, which is absolutely true. But that doesn't really resonate with people as much as the financial aspect of it does.
Yeah.
It's not as much about controlling women and keeping us, like little incubators, as it is about keeping people poor. Like it is about keeping people, it's about killing off poor women who are not able to expel a fetus from their body that's going to kill them. It's about making sure that, abusive people who are going to kill their pregnant wives are able to do so. And it's about making sure that people continue to raise babies in poverty when they don't feel like it, when they don't want to, when they don't have the ability to.
Yeah.
So that's what it's really about. I think it's so much more about poverty than it is about anything else. And to frame it as just like a women's issue and not also like a class issue is actually wrong. So I really wish that people talked about that more.
Right, yeah.
So if you tell those people that, like, it's about giving them access and choice. If you give people no choice but to either die with their fetus or raise their baby in poverty, that's also keeping people poor.
Exactly.
It doesn't do anything.
I know there's always like, people always ask you like, hey, do you ever want to have kids? And my answer has always been, yeah, when I have a lot of money. Like that is literally,
always.
You need to have, that's like the number one thing. Like
yes.
you need to be able to, kids are the most expensive gift you can ever have.
Exactly. And I've always said I'm not really into the idea of kids. Like I've never wanted them. And people are so like, the whole thing about people saying, oh, you're going to change your mind is so fucking real. I started saying to people when they say that they want kids, I'm like, you're so young. You're definitely going to change your mind. Trust me. They don't seem to like it, by the way. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I've never felt that way. But if I ever were to, I knew that like this fetus that was implanted into me when I was 20 years old and like in the back of a frat house and living in a sorority house, like I had to like, I was like walking home barefoot from when I got pregnant with this fetus. Like that's how drunk and college I was. I was not in this mindset. I did not want to raise this child. If I had that, like that's just not, you have to give people the choice to not be able to do that. I don't understand how that's debatable whatsoever. It's if you care about children at all, if you have respect for children at all, you should believe that they should be raised by people who want them and can provide for them, and not like drunk college girls who really just don't have it in them, don't have the ability or the desire to love and care for a child. Like if you care about kids, like how is that debatable? I don't get that. But that's my thoughts.
I think that's why it's cool to make jokes about things that like actually make get a conversation going beyond that.
Absolutely. So keep the Julie joke up. It's great. I'm obsessed with it, and it's honestly that's the whole thing. It's like I don't know. You get into this to like be funny on the internet, and then people actually are like, oh, you changed my perspective, or you made me feel really empowered as a woman or as a person with an abortion. It's like that I didn't expect. So it's kind of nice. Yeah, I like what we do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So okay, speaking more on the lines of like dating, all of that stuff. Yes. Your other video series is your walks of shame.
Yeah. I haven't done one in a minute.
Oh my God. Are they all legitimate walks of shame?
Yes. I do not fake the walks of shame. A lot of people claim that I faked the walks of shame. I have not done one in a while. I also haven't added to that playlist, so you might see some old ones. I used to literally... When I first started doing those, I was living at my parents' house before I moved to New York between college and here. Mm-hmm. And I was hooking up with a guy who happened to, in Los Angeles, live walking distance from me.
Do your parents live in LA?
Yeah, they live in LA.
Okay.
We live right by the Grove.
Okay.
So I got to walk from this guy's place through the Grove on the way home. It's a fantastic walk of shame. It's like the best you could ever have. You get to go shopping. You get a little morning coffee. I'm obsessed with it.
You see a fountain. Maybe see your dad. Why not?
I did run into my dad. You saw that. Yeah. So it's fun. So I was obsessed with the walks of shame. So the most I did that was like not true to the walk of shame was the guy insisted on driving me home once.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to drop me off. I have to make content. I have to do the walk of shame.
Did he care?
He drove me halfway home and we got in kind of a fight. I was like, let me out of the car. I'm making a video right now. And it did so well. I was like, get out. My followers matter more to me
than you.
Like, yeah, I want to drive you home. It's 7 a.m. Like, why are you walking home like barefoot? I'm like, I have to answer to the people. They want to know about my walk of shame. It has to be a walk. It's not a drive of shame. So thanks for the reminder. I have to get back to that. The antidepressants are not helping my desires.
I know.
But we were just talking about this before we started recording. Yes. I'm like, I have no sex drive, but I honestly, one of them was also, I slept over with a guy, but we didn't have sex. But I'll still do the walk of shame. Maybe that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's the best part of sleeping over.
I mean, wow. Obviously you have that viral video of like the cat running out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That is like an amazing story.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Have you always been like so open to people about like your life?
Yes. And I'm proud of that, but it's also if you think too much about it, like if I think too much about who's actually seeing this and what they're deriving from it, I actually can't do it. Like it's not about me being like particularly confident about talking. It's about me somehow being able to compartmentalize and not remember all the people who are watching this, and I'm just like delusional to a point where I feel like all the people who are reacting to these videos are like little Sims or like wee people cheering. But I'm like, no, like my 8th grade history teacher isn't going to see this. Like I have to forget that. I have to be delusional in order to post this stuff. But I was very like, I'm always open to a weird degree.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed about things like sex and embarrassing stuff like that. Like I always found that to be not hard. And to a point where I don't really relate to people who feel really vulnerable about it. I get not wanting to post to a million people about it, but to not even want to talk about it or like find funny stories about it. Like I never got when people are like uncomfortable talking about sex. It's just not my type of thing. Yeah. I have a hard time with that, but
I honestly do. I'm very open about like all of that stuff too as a comedian. So sometimes I used to feel envious of people that didn't overshare, but then you just kind of accept who you are. You're like, I'm an oversharer.
I've always wanted to be like the quiet, mysterious girl. I just feel like, it's just
like
it's
everyone
just
thinks you're a bitch, but you're just shy.
Exactly. Like I just want people to like question about like where has she been? What does she do? What's her body count? It's not a mystery. There's no mystery to me. Absolutely not. There is like nothing that people don't know, and I'm trying to come to terms with that. But as soon as I like have a crush on a guy and I realize like, oh, my entire story's out there, I don't have any air of mystery, it becomes kind of annoying. But that's the life I chose. That's the life we chose.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
Do you feel like so before you were on TikTok and on social media, like what did you want to do?
I wanted to work in late night. I always was interested in like comedy and entertainment.
Okay, cool.
So I graduated college and I was applying to like BuzzFeed and Refinery 29 type things. I wanted to do like somehow work my way into being one of these like the Try Guys. Like I'd have like a series for BuzzFeed. I'd make videos for some online thing. I would do like I wanted to work at like Vice. I was really interested in I studied poli-sci and journalism in college, so I really like the idea of like Carly Shortino like going into weird like sex shops or like I don't know, just like doing crazy shit on camera. So that's what I thought I would do. And then a lot of these job applications were asking, can you attach your social media? We want to see how how have you been able to build this or show this part of yourself on your own. And I was like, good point. If I have a camera, why have I not been doing it? So that's how I kind of had to like get over it and just start posting just for the purpose of attaching the account to my job applications. But then the account took off.
You're like, all right, I don't need you.
That's how it happened. Exactly. So I always thought that it would be like a full-time job at that. And I would like try stand up or I would like write something on the side or do YouTube videos on the side. But I got to surpass the 9-to-5 part, which is kind of nice. I'm very lucky. Cool. So that's how it happened. But I'm very... my dream came true.
What's your what's your goal? What's the project you're working on? What's like the dream?
The absolute dream is, okay, well, there's kind of two.
Okay.
I really, as I said, like the Vice Carly Shortino type, like I really was inspired by her show Slut Ever and the idea of like, I love Bourdain type stuff. I love like talking to people and traveling and the idea of like, I don't know, are you familiar with Kamau Bell? Kamau Bell. He has a show on CNN. Like these people go and like, talk to like people in the KKK and they're able to like inject a little humor into like insane shit that actually gets people to listen to real life stories and change their minds about, political stuff. Like I really care about injecting social issues into funny things and like the hide your vegetables type of stuff.
Right.
So that's what I want to do. So I would love to have some sort of show that I could like do that myself. I like the Daily Show correspondent type of thing. That's what I wanted to do beforehand. I was like really into that in high school and that's what I want to do. And right now I'm working on a idea that I'm shooting a couple things for, proof of concept, where I go around the country and I date incels. So that would be amazing because it would kind of meet my little passions for feminism and anti-incels with what I want to do.
Talk to me. Okay, I know you probably can't like talk too much about it, but what do you mean? Date. So you go around the country dating incels.
That would be the goal. I would really want to.
As someone who stayed up till 4 a.m. watching 90 Day Fiancé last night, just tell me everything.
It's just like I love the idea. It's okay. So it started off as I want to go around the world and date people in every state, which I quickly realized is not. It felt like my original idea, but it's sort of been done before.
Okay.
I do think it's important to like go around to every state. Like that's something that I think is key.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the entire concept should just be about a girl dates in every state, because it's like,
right.
I get that.
And what if you find love?
But I think that it should, exactly. But I think that it should be more focused on the men itself.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't say incels necessarily. I'm just very interested in understanding how men of the contemporary internet digital age are feeling about dating with the influence of Andrew Tate and Sneeko and the 4chan types being so prevalent.
Right.
How is that affecting men? So it started with me being like, I want to date people and talk about dating as a concept, as like a vehicle for seeing the world. But then when we kind of shot a little proof of concept type thing, I was like, I'm more interested in how men are treating dating. So that's what I would kind of like it to be about. So whether that becomes something or not, that's like very much what I want to do, is like talk about things that concern women and do it in sort of a, Bourdain meets like, I don't know. Have you seen Kathy Griffin's old show?
Yeah.
Like Life on the whatever it was, C-List. I forget the name. That's like the idea. It's just like a funny little show where I go around and I'm myself, but I talk to crazy people.
Are you like are you a relationship person at all?
Have I been in money?
Yeah.
No. I'm such a single. I'm the single friend perpetually.
Okay. Do you ever do you want that?
Yes, but I don't think I want it in the traditional way. Like I think that I fantasize about my wedding in the sense that I look at other people's weddings and I'm like, that's not what I would have done. My dress would have been prettier and my food would have been better. Like, this is what I would do.
Oh my God.
But I don't think about like marriage or like a wedding. I also think about like my ideal man, like physically, and what I think, like I love men and I love the idea of having a partner, but I just don't fantasize about like finding him. Like I don't think that that's going to be a big facet of my life. I think that most of my life is going to be about me. Like, I think I'm meant to, like, live alone for more time than most people probably think that they are.
What is your sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
Is that, do you think that's significant?
Like work-driven.
Okay. Yeah, I have a terrible work ethic. I can't get shit done.
That's not true. You're making videos left and right.
I know. I've been a little lazy this month, but, like, I'm trying. And I have a lot of people motivating me, which is kind of what that's been the theme of my life. Is, like, I have the ideas. I need the people to come in and, like, help me. But, yeah, I think that it's not necessarily that I'm work driven. I love being alone. I love the idea when I think about like my future home. I never imagine a husband and kids in it. It's not that I don't want them. It's just I don't see them in it. It's like that Whoopi Goldberg quote of like, why aren't you married? Because I don't want someone in my house. Like, it's like I love men. I think they're so funny. I love the idea of having sex with somebody all the time. I love having a partner. But I just like, I get so annoyed with people. And I love being alone. I love the idea that there's another thing that occurred to me the other day. When I think about when people ask, do you want to have kids? The first thought that pops into my head is I imagine myself with a child and a husband. Yeah. And I'm a little bit repulsed by that. I'm like, ugh, it just doesn't sit right. It never has. When I think about the idea of having a child but no husband.
You like that?
I'm a little okay with that. Like, I can't say for sure that the kid is something I want. But if I were to have a kid, I think that I would want no husband.
Yeah.
I think that maybe I'm just such a control freak and I love doing things my way and having the final say and being alone, that to just have one person to raise and not worry about like shaping this other person into an ideal parent, not to discredit the hardships and difficulties of single motherhood. Right. But I just think that like I personally might do better that way.
Right. Well, if you have like a big loving family too, then that can help.
Right. And as you said, like if I had the help and the money, like if I had the type of home that I felt like I could build a life for this kid that was like to my liking, then I would do it.
But a lot of people. So, okay, here's my question. I'm getting married in July.
Yay!
And
I saw that. That's exciting.
I've only been to 2 weddings. One was like my childhood best friend's sister when I was in middle school.
Okay.
Don't remember this. And my dad's, who he didn't even have like a real wedding. Okay. So I've like been to no weddings. But for some reason, I was like, I want to have a traditional wedding. I don't know why.
Really? Did you always have that desire?
I don't know. It's like really weird that I decided to do this.
Because you seem like untraditional in many ways.
I
like,
know.
I'm just surprised. Okay. So
I
you're
know.
what does a traditional wedding mean to you?
Just like, you know, a venue.
Okay, well.
I don't know. It's not traditional, but it's like.
We're going to have it in a place.
It's in a place. We're inviting humans. Like, there is food.
I might wear a dress.
I'm going to wear a dress that is white.
Oh, okay. So we're getting traditional.
Yeah, there are bridesmaids.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is traditional.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do bachelorette or are you gonna?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, come on. That's the best part of the wedding.
I don't know. I just feel like one of my bridesmaids lives in England.
Okay.
Then I have 2. So it's like me and like 2 girls that don't know each other, like just sitting somewhere. Like this is getting sad.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
But
okay.
I don't know. Everyone's like, bachelorette. I'm like, with who? But okay.
Go take yourself on a trip.
Yeah.
Go to Tulum.
I would love, everyone's like my best friend, she's a bridesmaid. She's like, bachelorette in Vegas. I'm like, yeah, us too. Like, I don't.
What are you gonna do?
Sure.
No, I get it. Okay.
But okay, so I'm planning this wedding. It's like mostly my fiance's family.
Okay.
Like my dad does. I'm like, Dad, you want to invite anyone? He's like, can't think of anyone. I'm like, all right, great.
Perfect.
Don't know why I am deciding to do this giant wedding. I'm not like, but we're doing this. But okay, here's some questions for you.
Okay.
You, I feel like, have friends.
Sure.
I'm getting this vibe that
you're getting the vibe.
I'm getting the vibe. You have friends. You've been to weddings.
Oh, stop it!
You
I'm
could
psyched.
tell me 5 things that you hate about at weddings.
Okay, I'll tell you so fucking easily.
Okay.
First of all,
yes,
I don't like. You either have a destination wedding.
It's not destination.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Or you have one that is convenient and you provide certain aspects that make it more convenient for your guests to attend.
Like what?
Like, you know, maybe you arrange Ubers from like the hotel to where the venue is or like a bus or something.
Oh, wow.
Like I think it's hard to, if you're not going to have, are you having it in New York?
No, it's in upstate New York.
Okay. So like that,
yeah.
To me, it's like if you're going to, as long as like the place where people are mostly staying is not super far. Right. I've had a place where it's like we're in like an upstate New York type place. Like it's far from where we all live. So we all have to stay somewhere far away. But we're not getting a vacation out of it. So it's not like a destination. But that's all fine and dandy. But then all the places that you have to stay, they know that it's way too far from the venue. And it's like, okay, now can you like, I think that it would be such a cool touch if you're considering this, maybe. You get like rent like a school bus or like get something like I think that is a really cool thing to spend money on if you're going like I think that it should be about if you're going to have a wedding. Yeah, like shuttle them over, like make it you're having people come celebrate with you. Why not make it easier on them to celebrate you? Like why not treat your guests to something like that?
Yeah.
I think that's a cool thing. But that's also I feel like that's not like a hard, it's a very difficult thing to reach. So what's another one? I think that something I don't like about weddings. I just like bad food. Like you have to have good food.
Okay.
Is that something that are you
venue has good food.
Okay, just have good food. Like people are going to be drinking, then they have to be eating good food.
Okay.
I went to one where the bride was gluten-free. So everyone was gluten-free at the wedding.
No.
I'm eating like a gluten-free little bread. That's fucked up. I'm sorry. Are you letting kids come?
No.
Okay, I think that's
kids.
important. I don't think there should be kids.
I know.
It's distracting for you.
know.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
What else? You have to let people fuck. You have to let people be okay. If you're having a wedding and it's a big one and all your friends are mingling and your cousins are there, you have to be okay with people getting drunk and having fun and like hooking up and
hooking
flirting.
up or having sex.
Not having sex at the wedding.
Okay, just hooking up.
But like hooking up after.
Why wouldn't I be okay with them hooking up?
Well, some brides are weird. Like some couples are like, oh, I just want this to be about me. Like, why'd you go and hook up with somebody else?
No, I
think
want
that's
it
ridiculous.
to be like my own reality show of everyone fucking.
That's the way to go into it. Like, that is the mindset.
Okay.
And I've been to like, what, 3? Like, it's not like I'm the expert either. But I think that I've heard people say like, oh my God, I want my wedding to be a circus. I need it to be so fun and for everybody to mingle and get drunk. Like you have to be, if you're going to provide drinks, and now we know you're providing good food so people feel comfortable drinking a lot.
Okay.
You have to be okay with them getting drunk and doing little shenanigans and having fun and doing a little make out on the dance floor. Like it has to be okay being a little bit crazy, because if you're getting caught up in like, you know, people acting so civilized.
Okay.
And it's like, it's not fun. Like, it has to be fun for the guests. It can't just be fancy for you.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, prioritizing the guests is a big part of like
how
all
do you
of
make
my
it like
nights.
fun for the guests? Like what would be
You gotta like just make like music that people actually like you know what I mean? I just feel like people get very caught up in like, oh, we have to have all of our families, like everyone on both sides do a toast on the dance floor. It's like everyone doesn't need to give a 20-minute toast. Let people dance. Maybe if you're doing like a little rehearsal dinner or everybody goes up for a minute, that's fine. But when people make it super long, when the ceremony is super long, it's like you're here to celebrate your love. It is your day, but it's not entirely your day if you've chosen to have a bunch of people.
Right.
So why not make an effort to make this fun for others by like making sure that the music is like mostly, if they're on the dance floor, they don't have to listen to 20-minute toasts. It's like they're mostly listening to fun music that people your age like, and they're you know, it's not all slow songs, and there's good food so that they feel comfortable getting drunk, and when they get drunk, you're not gonna get mad at your friend for hooking up with your cousin. Like these are just things that all have to happen in order to have fun. That's how I feel about it.
I like
but
it.
At the end of the day, it's your fucking day, so who cares? Like I just think you're gonna have fun, and you're not gonna make it bad for your guests. Like it's gonna be great.
Okay.
Did I stress you out?
No, we love this.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
I'm just like, I'm just thinking about my wedding. Okay.
Okay, good. But you're gonna make it super fun. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. Okay. Quickly, I have so much. Okay. What is the best advice you've ever received?
Okay. I want it to be like funny, but I was thinking on the way here, I feel like it's not. The best advice I ever received is like, stop trying to be the boss. Like I have this vivid memory of I was at summer camp one year, and I was feeling I am bossy, but I was so much bossier as a kid, like in high school. I was a CIT at summer camp, and all of these kids were like obsessed with, you know, planning this end of the summer banquet. And I was just so caught up, and like I'm like calling my mom, like they're not even listening to me, like they don't even want to do what I want to do. It's not even gonna be fun. And I remember my mom saying something that like totally snapped me out of this phase of my life. And she was like, maybe you don't get to lead this one. Like maybe, yes, you might be right that everyone, for example, will have more fun at this banquet or at Natalie's wedding if your ideas are followed. But maybe it's like, let other people lead and be okay with it not going how you want. Like, just like get your own life. Be okay with things not all, like, you don't have to be, I don't know, I get in a lot of fights with my friends about like choices that they make that I don't like their boyfriends or whatever. And my mom always has to remind me, like, it's not your life. Like, maybe you'll be happier if you just stop thinking about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I guess my advice is like, don't try to like, it's your life. Like, focus on yourself. Be selfish.
That is good advice. I'm also I'm a hardcore control freak.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to like delegate responsibility. It's hard for me to,
I just can't. Like, I have such a hard time with it, but delegating is the right word. Like, you just, I have a very, it's not going to happen often for me, but I have to like, if I don't spend all day long worrying about, oh my God, my friend is totally with the wrong guy and it's ruining her potential and she's going to ruin her life. My friend is an adult. She's going to be fine.
Right.
Maybe I should like stop spending all day being
stressed.
That's
nice of you to care. I mean, if my friends are with the wrong guy, I just laugh and talk shit. So at least you're...
I do that part too, but I get in a lot of fights with them. I'll be like, you know, you're like, I say mean things. I'm like, your ugly boyfriend. And they're like, you can't say that. I'm like,
oh
you know
my God, you're that friend.
I like that friend.
Oh my God. I honestly, I feel like I've been the other friend that like has the boyfriend people don't like. Like,
yeah.
I had a boyfriend that like all my friends hated, and it was so I always try to be like, whenever a friend tells me about like a guy and like a fight, it's really hard because like you're only getting like, I was just saying to my fiance, like it's so hard because I feel like my friends just tell me about like the shitty things about their boyfriends, and like so I kind of hate all of their boyfriends, because I don't hang out with them. It's not like they're going to be like, he's great. Right. And so I only hear these really shitty things. And I'm like, but like, what are you going to do? I mean, they're not going to tell you the nice things. And you have to just be like, come at it and be like, all right. So you have to come at it with a positive way, because they really like, but it's hard. If you're going to confide in your friend about your boyfriend, like we're going to probably start hating them at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. You're only going to share the bad things. You only care to share about the bad things.
Yeah.
And that's what's fun about life. If I can't like talk a little bit of shit, that's what this thing that's going around. I think I talked about this on my own podcast. So if you heard this already, shut up. No, you didn't. But there's like this trend going around of people like eavesdropping on other people at like Starbucks saying, oh, your friends are all talking shit about your wedding and they blah, blah, blah. They thought that your dress was ugly on the rehearsal dinner and they're putting it on TikTok for like 100,000 people to see. And it's like, if I can't go to Starbucks with two of my friends and say that my friend's boyfriend sucks, I have nothing to live for. Like, I need to do that. And it doesn't make me a bad friend. Of course, there are lines to be crossed. Some of these people do suck. But like at the end of the day, harmless gossip, like you can't be doxing people or outing them for this shit. That's how friendships last. Is like, if I can't talk a little shit about your bad boyfriend to somebody, if I can't tell you, I have to tell somebody that your boyfriend sucks. And then it's like, then I'll have it out of my system.
Yeah, it's not like I'm going to be journaling all morning about your boyfriend. Like, I need to tell a friend.
No, I need to tell a friend. I'm not going to tell God. Like, I have to actually tell somebody. And I'm so sick of, like, that comes back to the toxic positivity thing. Like, why are we pretending that that's not perfectly human to
Venting
sit
is
and
so
talk?
important.
It absolutely is. And, like, that's why you hear only the bad things about people's boyfriends, but that's what venting is. That's what you're supposed to do with your friends.
Right.
You tell them mostly about the bad things, and you have to trust that, but sometimes the bad things are, like, bad.
I know. I have to just like pause and be like, whenever my friend vents, I'm like, okay, well, you are going to make it work. So how do I approach the advice from that perspective of the fact that you're going to stay together?
Exactly.
All right.
Like there's nothing that you can say.
So
and it doesn't help when the guy's also like ugly and a loser.
Sounds like he's stressed at work.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you can say. Like that's literally all you get to say sometimes if you want to choose your friendship.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, sometimes these guys are like sounding crazy. You're just like, but I guess one time I had this girl I was friends with. I met her at the dog park, so automatically you're meeting at the dog park, like it's bad.
That's like a movie meat cute.
It's not good. Well, we went to dinner for my birthday like 2 years ago, and she hated my boyfriend at the time so much. She starts telling the waiter. This is the last time I saw this girl, was my birthday. Like, it was crazy. She starts telling the waiter how terrible my boyfriend is. I was like...
In like a funny way?
I don't know. Like, it was so crazy. And then I'm like, I was like, you like need to stop. And the waiter's like, I think you just need to spend more time with your friend. Like, your friend is feeling like you don't spend enough time with her. Because, like, I guess that's how the waiter interpreted her talking shit about my boyfriend at the time.
You're getting, like, therapized by your waiter?
On my birthday.
On your birthday. Okay, that's the worst part. I was going to say, like, maybe I can get if she was drunk on a night out, but your birthday is bad.
We were drunk, but it was my birthday.
Right. No, yeah, you can't do that.
And I was like... What? I never saw this girl again. I was like, last time I make friends at the dog park, last time I see this girl.
More dog people.
Last time I did leave the guy, but still.
Okay, understandable. That's like a good wake up call for me because I'm so the type who will be like drunk at the restaurant, like waiter, like come over here. Like I wouldn't dump like that.
She was like, look at his Instagram.
I would just make a little joke to the waiter. No,
oh my God,
that's bad.
Crazy.
Oh my God,
no, this was freaky. So unhinged. I was like.
Yeah. Not good. No good. No friends at the dog park anymore. You should be a cat person now.
I could not believe this. Like, she was showing the waiter the Instagram. I was like, this is the end.
But how bad was he?
He was bad. Yeah. But like still.
Like, of course she's in the wrong, but like also
she's in the wrong.
You are engaged to somebody else, I'm assuming.
I am engaged to someone else, but still, like, you don't do that.
No, it's fucked up. How long have you known the guy that you're engaged to?
So we've been together for like a year and a half.
Okay.
So I guess but yeah, it was. Yeah, he's great. The guy that I'm with now.
Good. I'm glad.
No one's, doing this whole waiter stuff.
Right. The waiter, I'm sure, would approve.
Yeah.
You should go back and find that waiter.
I know. I should go back and be like, look.
Look what I did. That bitch was wrong about me.
I'll be like, who are you?
I'm capable of a non-toxic relationship. What's your take on people who say like toxicity, for example, like the word toxic, and toxic relationships are like, you need to be a little crazy. You know what I mean? Like girls need to be a little toxic and crazy in a relationship. Would you agree? I have not
never heard this.
Taken a stance on that.
No, I don't think you should be toxic and crazy in a relationship. I mean, no, I feel like you just need to talk to like guys like they're people. Like,
right.
You need to just like, I've always been like kind of like just be completely honest. Always just be
How
yourself.
I feel, I don't have the patience to like pick fights over nothing.
Like it doesn't.
But apparently, here's what I'm hearing:
Mm-hmm.
the games for a lot of people, the toxicity, the little bit of like being quick to anger, getting a little bit like checking the phone and being a little delulu.
Yeah.
It's kind of got a little element of like passion and sexiness on the woman's part.
People confuse anger, like fighting, with passion.
Yeah.
I think.
I just don't feel. But if there was anything that made me upset at a guy to a point where I wanted to like pick a fight, like I think I'm just so unimpressed in general and so tired that I just don't make a stink about this stuff, because it's like, oh, if I suspect that you're like checking out other girls online, I'm not even gonna. I'm just leaving. Like I don't care, and I feel like that's not as fun.
Yeah,
I want to be more fun. I'm trying to be more mysterious and more fun. Those are my goals, and neither of them are gonna happen.
That's like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's not how to be fun. I feel like to be fun with a guy is like to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like redefine fun as like spontaneous, not as like fighting, you know? Like,
exactly.
Doing like I think being fun is like randomly taking a trip, or like randomly like doing something cool, or just like, I don't know. To me, like fun and passion has always been equivalent to escalating things quickly,
right?
Not fighting,
right?
But I mean, I don't know.
I'll take your advice. You're the one with the fiance. any other nuggets of wisdom for a single woman?
I don't know.
I told you how I feel about weddings, even though I've literally never come close. So you tell me. What do you think I should do? As a person who
doesn't sound like you want a relationship.
Yeah, I don't think I do. But here's the thing: I would definitely be open.
Yeah,
I just am not like, I don't actively wish.
I like that you have. I feel like it was your video where you said that you're picky and you have high standards. Was it you? No.
Sounds like something I'd say.
I feel like I like that though. I think it's a good thing. And I think that like, I don't know. I like that.
Okay. Thanks.
I think it's good. I think it makes sense to like, I do regret, like, I was always a relationship person. I do regret not putting enough time into friendships and like all the time I wasted with people that I'm not with anymore.
Right. No, so, I definitely don't want to be that person. But I think I need to like open myself up. I need to open myself up to love.
If you want to go, I mean,
not because I necessarily want, like I so don't, but my like, it's more, I have like Jewish parents and they're like, please go on a date. We're so like, worried about you.
It'll happen. It will. Happen. Like people are, I mean, especially since you're like in the public eye, like people will be like, people will court you.
Right. Somebody will set me up with somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we need to pull a tarot card.
Oh, is that what we do?
Yes.
I didn't realize you do that.
Okay, you're gonna shuffle the deck.
Okay.
Put a little energy in here.
Okay, so I take these out, right?
Yes.
I'm shuffling. Okay.
I don't know what my advice is for dating. Just
come on, it's help.
I think my advice is, okay, I mean, do you use dating apps at all?
Yeah. Like I'm really bad about responding and stuff, but I'll peruse, sort of like online shopping.
I like to make them FaceTime me. I like to make them send me a photo first at all times. Photo of them holding a spoon.
Are you serious? Really?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
They must send a photo of them, a selfie.
Is this sufficiently shuffled, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit more.
A little bit more. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so they have to send a spoon?
Like a selfie of them holding a spoon. Like we need a current selfie.
Okay.
We need to talk to them a little bit. We need to talk before we meet for sure. Like we need to know if they're worth. I mean, I used to really make people talk to me before I met them on the dating apps a little too much.
Yeah, to me, the problem with that is I feel very disappointed when we get. Sometimes I feel more catfished by personalities than I do by looks. And I'm more willing to be catfished with looks than with personality. I feel like very cheated when I show up and I've been talking to a guy for 2 weeks on text and he's so funny and he's so quick and clever. And then I'm there and he's like not fucking funny.
Oh
like,
my God, yes.
What's the deal?
And he's like so awkward and he's like just sipping a tea.
Right? Like, no, I went on a date the other day. I'm doing good. I went on a date from Hinge.
Yeah.
I was kind of just like, I wanted something casual. I'm trying to like revive my sex drive because of the antidepressants and it's not coming back. It's dead.
Yeah.
But I decided to go on this date. I was set up and I go and he was like, he seemed really funny and cool over text. And I show up and it's like, he just couldn't see. He was just like bored. I'm like, do you want to be here right now? Then he like leans in as I go in for the hug. He goes in for a kiss. And I swear, I don't know how I didn't pull back and say, are you fucking kidding me? Like, he was like not even nice. It was just so weird to me. He didn't seem interested. Not that I was really interested in him either. His breath stank. But like, I just didn't like him. I don't know. Weird vibes all around. And then he texted for a second date. And it's like,
no.
Can you at least show me that you're interested? Like, it's not cool to be funny over text. And then I get that you're
shy,
right?
But still.
Being shy is real. Being embarrassed or like not that outgoing is fine.
You're right. Being catfished
like,
by the personality.
If you're going to be a little nervous, like, I'm sorry, grow up. You're like 30 something. It's That's just, fair. You That's have fair. To like open up to me. He was like, sorry, I was a little nervous. Like, what? You're like almost 40. I don't know what to tell you. I think that's crazy.
So weird. There's a fine line between not wanting to be catfished by the personality, but also I get like afraid that I'm going to get there and they're going to like poison my drink or something.
Well, that's a valid fear as a woman, but I think that honestly, when you have that much proof, I've gone across the country to go on dates with people. Like, I'm obsessed with doing that. I went to a music festival because some guy like DM'd me and asked me to come. And that's
the
like
trust.
Well, to me, here's what I realized in doing that. When I go on a date with somebody, like I'm come from the East Village and go to Gramercy Park, I'm not sharing my location with people. I'm not telling people where I'm going or even that I'm going on a date because it feels so close to home.
Yeah.
What are the odds that anything's going to happen to me?
You can, though.
I like something could happen, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm not taking all these precautions like you do because to me, it's like he's right there. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I can run home. But when this guy approached me to go to this music festival, first of all, there was a huge payoff for me because if I didn't like him, at least I was going to a city where I knew people, city I wanted to visit, and a free music festival. But he was sending me PDFs about, you know, his family and his life and his life story and what he does for work. And he's sending me, we're FaceTiming all the time. And I shared my location with fucking everybody, including my parents, because I was nervous about my safety. And I had his full fucking name in my phone a zillion times because he had sent me all this information to make me feel safe. It was at the point where it's like, I'm safer with this guy than I am with some random guy on Hinge in my neighborhood because I've made him do so much. I've told everybody I'm doing this. He could never get away with killing me. Yeah. So to me, it's like, I don't know. If you feel nervous, there are certain precautions to take where you can only be so safe. And at the end of the day, you might as well have fun.
I guess. I've done some crazy things like with strangers, like meeting strangers. I just feel.
Yeah. You got to be careful. Bad things happen.
Sometimes you're like, I just can't believe I'm alive. Thank you, God. I mean, damn. I don't know. It's true. Did anything work out with the guy? No.
I ended up, he's visited New York a couple times and we always hang out. Yeah, we're close. He's a nice guy.
Nice little man.
Nice little, a big man actually. Quite really large, like physically as a person, very large man.
I always I feel like all the guys I have met online have been little guys.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind a little guy. My only thing is like the hair is a really big deal to me. Like full head of hair, dark hair. Wow. I just need that. I need brunette through and through, chest hair, brunette. I need a lot of chest hair, and I would prefer if they're not shorter than me, but I don't really care if they're much taller.
Right.
That's like my main
I wonder what
things.
It is about that where like you sometimes like you ever like put on heels and then you stand next to a guy and you're like,
I'm kind of turned on by it. I never expected to be this person. I would definitely prefer to never be taller than the guy, but something about like when Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas, now a bad couple, but before when they were good. When they were first getting together and all their red carpet photos were her like in heels like an inch taller than him, I was sort of like, I love this. Like it's kind of hot. I love that she's like the power, like the lady wearing the pants. It just seems that way because she's taller. I don't know if the guys would feel that way.
Yeah.
But I don't mind a short guy. What I mind is like really like a blondes. Like nothing feels more
really,
effeminate to me than an adult male blonde.
For my issue, and like this is just personal, I'll take the cards.
Yeah, it's been shuffling forever.
When I feel like a guy is just like spends more than 10 minutes looking in the mirror, it's too much. I don't want a guy that looks in the mirror more than I do.
No, I really don't like clean cut, polished either.
Ugh,
not my thing.
This is our past.
Okay.
Present, and our future. Okay.
This
Obviously,
doesn't look good on your face.
Okay.
Be very honest. I want the truth.
No, the past is good. This is like, Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, wealth. This is like you are like wealth, some success. Like, don't let it get to your head.
Okay.
We'll read the book just to be,
Okay.
make sure we're clear.
Okay. Please do.
Four of Pentacles is, possession, control, material gain, and stability. Only good news for your bank account and home. Yet underneath the surface, this card is a warning. Don't become possessive or controlling. Holding on too tightly to material world will leave you rigid, stagnant, and displeasing to others. Wealth is a concept.
Ooh, okay, that's good to know.
We did talk about this. We don't want to be
that
too,
resonates.
Controlling. Okay, so we've had a lot of success. That's good. We got
the money's good. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, TikTok.
Then we have the present moment, which is the Seven of Swords. I personally just get so upset when I see swords because sometimes swords can just like mean conflict. They are like the suit of like, it's like air.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, think of it as like things like coming at you. I mean, this doesn't look so bad. I mean, the fox is kind of like hiding under it. I've never really pulled this card.
Let's read it. I want to know the truth.
And, we're not dominated by swords. There's only one sword card, so it's all really going to be okay. I mean, of all the sword cards, this one's doesn't even look that bad. Okay, it's not even bad. But it's, it's actually really interesting for you to pull this card.
Okay, let's hear.
Secrecy, self-interest. Because 6 swords hang in plain view, while the 7th is tucked under the sly fox's tail. So goes the story of the 7 of Swords. A secret is being kept. We don't expect this from you because you're so open.
Okay.
You're either the keeper or the kept from, and it's time to identify which. Deceit and avoidance linger in the air. Face the cause of secrecy or risk ostracizing yourself. Oh my God. Are you keeping a secret or is someone keeping a secret from you?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
I feel like this card is really interesting because, like, as a person that's super open, like, people kind of do expect that you're sharing everything, but, like, you're not.
No, of course not. I mean,
so I think that is, like, an interesting card because, like, I think maybe, like, you do portray a lot of openness, but inside, like, you probably have, like, a little bit of the secrecy.
Sure. I mean, I have a private life, but I don't know. It feels very inconsequential. Okay, good to know.
You're either the keeper or the kept from. It's time to identify which.
So somebody could also be keeping a secret from me. I'm trying to think. I don't have any major secrets.
A secret is being kept.
Whoever loves me, come out now. Tell me right now.
Yeah, maybe someone's in love with you. It
or
could
if
be
you hate
good
me.
news. Secrets being kept.
Okay. Fine. I'll choose to see the positive. Maybe there's good news. That's a secret.
Okay, so the past we've got like a lot of success. It's good stuff. We just can't let it get to our head. Then there's, a secret. Either we hold or someone else holds.
Great.
Then we have the Mother of Cups in the future, which is a great figure. This is a specific person, either you or someone you know. She is creative, emotional. Cups are like emotion, water, and she's kind of like observant, caring, nurturing. We're gonna read her card.
This is somebody that's coming in the future?
She's coming in the future.
Oh, she's coming. Okay. She'll be coming around the mountain.
She's coming around the mountain when she comes.
Okay.
Okay. She's insightful. She's psychic. The Mother of Cups rivals the High Priestess with her natural psychic abilities. She's a gentle, tranquil woman whose insights bring healing to those around her. She thrives when amidst her family, the arts, and music or beauty of any kind. Like a true swan, when the Mother of Cups is pushed, she becomes aggressive and defensive. She'll commonly see herself as the victim when distressed in a situation. Okay. So
this is not somebody who exists already. This is someone coming in.
It could be.
Okay.
So it's like, very like psychic.
Okay.
Like very in tune person, loves the arts and family, but like you don't want to fuck with her. She's just like here and she's just kind of like part of your life in some way, helping you.
Okay.
And so I don't know how you tie these all together, I guess some good stuff happening. Got to keep a level head about it. We also just want to be kind of aware of things. We still have that like part of ourself that's like a cat, like the cat that got locked out.
Right.
And then we have the Mother of Cups who's protecting us from everything.
Okay.
I don't know. She's confused.
Natalie, you sufficiently freaked me out.
Why?
That's okay.
You're so freaked out. Why are you so freaked out?
No, I'm not freaked out. It's just like,
What is she
oh,
thinking?
okay. Like, I'm not.
What is she thinking?
I'm thinking a little bit.
What is she thinking?
I have secrets? I don't freaking know.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
I've never seen this. I mean, honestly, this is like my dog reminds me. I mean,
Your dog reminds you of that?
like this little like curled up thing.
yeah.
It's kind of like the dating thing. I feel that you're like a little closed off from dating and from guys.
Yeah.
Like you're just like not.
You're right.
You're not like something.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
open
know.
up my secret.
Your heart.
Yeah, sure.
don't
Or
know.
something else. I love when people call it what's that thing? It's sort of an old fashioned way of referring to your vagina when people are like, your present, your
God,
flower.
your flower.
I
Oh my
love when
God.
people call it your present.
I feel like
I have not been giving away my presents.
what's the worst? Is that like the worst thing a guy has called your like
my present?
for
Can
me,
you
it's
imagine?
been flower.
He actually said that
A guy
unironically.
has said that to me, and I've been like, I'm gonna actually throw up now.
He said flower. Yeah, that's bad. You know what? I honestly think the word pussy gives me like such. I don't want it referred to.
No.
Let's pretend it's not there.
I think it can be hot.
It's just I love like dirty talk and I like being vocal and I like when the guy is vocal, but something about referring to the private parts, like referring to pussy or dick or whatever you want to say, it reminds me of like reading an erotic novel when they're like, and now I'm going to touch your pulsating member. It's like, I don't need like a play-by-play of what you're touching and what you're doing.
I feel you. I feel like when you see the people that write erotic novels too, sometimes you're like,
yeah, I used to love reading like Reddit stories, like hot lit erotica on Reddit. And then I saw this meme that was like the people on Reddit writing that hot threesome story. Like, it's like actually they're very interesting people and they're not people I'd be attracted to. So it kind of took me out of it. But yeah, something about like saying the word.
Here, I don't want you to be freaked out.
I'm not freaked out. I
want to have like I want to have like an understanding. Maybe it's, honestly, these two I really get a good vibe from. Like, we have like, I love Mother of Cups because she's like protective and like, you don't want to poke at her. She's a swan. Like, what happens when you upset a swan? They kind of come at you.
Sounds like my mama.
Yeah.
But she's already in my
life.
life.
Also have success. Well, that's good. She'll be like, she'll be prominent in your life.
Okay, fine.
And then it's like, I don't know. Maybe this has to do with dating in some way.
Sure. Let's choose to accept that. I am okay with letting my secret, my legs open to reveal my secret.
Reveal your little secret.
Reveal my little present, my flower.
Oh my God.
See, it's awful. It's awful.
It's
so gross. Who said it? Was it your fiance?
No.
Please tell me no.
I would not have said yes.
That's insane.
Ugh.
Ew.
It's gross. Anyway, Talia, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I had fun.
Yes. Where can people find you?
My podcast is called Basic Training. It's with Jake Cornell.
And you guys give advice.
Yeah. People call in. We give advice. We banter a lot. The whole concept is that a lot of people don't have like basic common sense, and we try to train them on it.
Yes.
So it's very common sense type questions. So we answer them, and it's fun. And that's on Apple and Spotify and whatever. And my name is Talia Lichtstein. You can find me wherever.
Yay. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we now have a fourth wall. So go to helpwithnatalie.com. You can subscribe, find extra bonus content and some merch. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.